Hello again, it's me again. And I'm here again in this Saturday evening, and I'm going to do you another one of MATTO'S Board Box Mania. Let's look at the box I made, episode 6, I think. Not completely sure. Right, what have I got for you now? I have Agricola. This was a very early box. I think this was probably the second box I ever made after making that Settlers box that you looked at. I think this was the second box. Not sure. Could have been third, second or third. Anyway, right, so this is a case where the box is actually bigger than the original box. And that's because I've got the original printing of Agricola, so I think it's all changed now, I'm not sure. So there's a lot of stuff in it, and I had the Farmers of the Moor, and I couldn't, for all my effort, get it all into the one box. So that's why I made this one. So in my early days, mostly I was making boxes to fit expansions and things into one box. So my Settlers was bigger than the original boxes. This is bigger than the original boxes. Now, I think this box looks lovely, because what I've been able to do on this one, firstly, on these main bits, as I've talked about, you know, I don't have these little bits for the finger things, because this has actually got a half lid. A half lid. The lid isn't on all the way. So I managed to get really nice, the whole thing of the original box on the sides, which is just so nice. And then these bits, I think I got these off the actual box of the Agricola box, not the lid. I think these are on the box, and I managed to cut these out and stick them on, and I think it makes it look really nice. You know, you've got the orange bits. I think it looks like really nice. I've got a soft spot for this box, and I like the fact that on one side it's not orange. You know, but I mean, even though I display them this way and store them this way, if I did store them, you know, whatever. So that's about all there is about that. I've put 2 of these things on because originally I was thinking this lid was going to be very tight. I'm going to try and keep these videos shorter, because the videos are too damn long, and I try to keep them short and I can't. But that's because I say this kind of stuff, and who knows. Don't like that lettering. What is that lettering? Don't like it at all. But I love the look of the box. So, there's not much to say. Normally I'm on about the look of the box, but there was no problems with this one. It just looks great. Now, so what I did was a half box. Now, right, now I think with this lid, I've certainly made the walls only one thickness, and I think I've made the lid only one thickness. I'm not sure, it could be 2, but it has actually made, it's not weak, it's still strong, but it is definitely weaker. And again, I've got the problem of it all being a little bit warped. I need to sort that problem out. I'll have to do some serious experiments, but it's okay. I mean, it fits on. And again, if you store them this way, it just doesn't matter. If you do them standing up, it has a tendency to come away a little bit. Not much. It's fine. It was an early box. It's fine. It will protect the components for many years to come. But I like the idea of it. Now, but the one challenge this box does have, it says a little lip here, you know, for this to go on. And so underneath this lip, these boxes are actually 6mm thick. Plus that, it's almost 8mm. It's really strong, this box, you know. But doing that was okay when I was making it. It was fine, but it's awkward when you cover it with the brown paper. And I was having to, I can't remember the technique I did. You had to kind of cut it in a slightly different way to how I've showed in my how to do it videos, and then you'd be using a ruler like this to try and squash it down onto this, you know, just onto this little ridge here. I don't know if you can see that. I need to check the usual mat nonsense. Have to check, you know, there's a little sort of ridge here that the lid goes on. So it was quite a challenging one to kind of make. I can't remember how I did it, so I can't teach you it. But I did that because of the depth of the box. And I was worried, even though the Settlers box was okay, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to get the lid on and off, especially after painting it. That's why I did that. And I also thought, you know, it's nice. But, you know, I think it's all quite a nice package now. This is different. This is because this is an early one. I did things in different ways. Now again, I've still got my stops to stop all the stuff and to allow my fingers to go in. And we've got rules and all the boards, and they all fit in there. That's fine. Now, I don't really do it like this anymore. So what I've got in here is I have got, I can't even get it out. You can see, I should be able to get it out. I'm sure I designed that, so I should be able to get it out. Now, I put all the components in and stuff in different boxes, and you can even see in this one, you know. So I've put one. You can see in this one, I didn't even take those bits of tape off. You can see the well, I don't know if you can see it, but you can see the masking tape shining through. Whereas now I put the masking tape on there, and that's just a single thickness thing, again with little blobs to get out. I mean, this was quite an involved box, and then I've got, you know, again, it's all too tight. You know, I've learned to make it all with tolerances now. It's all too tight. But this was an early one, you know, and you know, I do that. I mean, you know, this is standard insert stuff, isn't it? You do that so it's on the table, do that so it's on the table, rather than putting them in baggies and having everything all flopping around and that kind of thing. And I've actually jointed all these. I probably wouldn't bother doing that these days. I'll just put a strip and put a small bit, one strip along there, and you know, and just glue up to the side. But I've actually jointed all that. And here, you know, I've actually half jointed everything. Jesus, man, I really went to town on this. And even this one, look, it's got a lip thing on. I really went to town on this box. It must have got me really inspired by that Settlers box, and I just, you know, I went a bit nuts really. So we got that, and then look, we got another box here for other bits. Two things to get it off because it's all quite tight. Ooh, I mean, I haven't actually played Agricola for a long time, so I'm not even sure what's in here. Right. Bits, tiles and bits. Just gone like that because I just pinged it off. So yeah, so these are all the tiles for, you know, your fields and your stuff and for your houses. Tokens, 3 tiles and tokens. Way overbuilt. I mean, you know, look at all this stuff that I've done in here. You know, because I've got on here different heights. So you've got the heights of these tiles. And then these bits, and so if I just put a straight lid on there, these bits would have all floated about and moved around. So I've actually stuck in an extra bit on there so it sits on top of those to hold those in. Crazy, huh? Didn't really know what I was doing, you know. I mean, I remember when I was doing it, I was just making it up as I went along. You know, I didn't have a cohesive plan, or I didn't give much thought. I was just, you know, just kind of making it up as I went along, really. But I think I might have made these boxes before I made the main box. I made these boxes first, you know, and I mean, I had the size, I had the width of them from the boards. You know, I mean, if you actually look there, you see, I've actually made those almost to sort of fit in there. I know, well, I wouldn't have done it that way, but you know, I worked to the boards, made the things, and then worked out how deep the box was going to be, and then made the box. Then I've got all the, you know, the playing pieces. I've made these into individual boxes. So, you know, red, we've got all the bits in there. You know, and then, you know, I've got them for all the colours, 5. You know, blue. Again, I do it very differently now. You know, I certainly wouldn't put lids on or everything like this, even though it's actually really nice. But it's a bit... Oh, you see, this is awkward. It's, you know, it's crap design. Things stick up, and I would have designed this better. Bit fiddle-assed. But I got them for all the 5 colours. And it was quite handy having 5 colours, because again, I remember, I mean, I do remember things, even though, I mean, when was this? I don't know, 12 years ago? 13 years ago? A long time ago. But, you know, I do remember things. But I remember when I was building it and designing how I was doing it, having the 5 in there was great, because it gave you that finger room. It gave you that room to get in there. Look, you can see it's awkward what I've done here. Look, the buildings all stick up and can't get the lid on properly. Look, you see, why isn't that lid going on properly? I don't understand why the lid's not getting on properly. Anyway, so I've got all those 5. And I'll probably forget how all this goes in. And then I've got all the cards. Tons of cards. All in tuck boxes. These were the first tuck boxes I ever made. And I've got what the cards are on there. Occupations. That's your starting cards. These haven't weared very well, these tuck boxes. So again, farmers on the moor, the minor improvements. Farmers on the moor, minor improvements. K deck, K occupations, I deck, E deck, you know. You can see how on square my tuck boxes are made. You put a load on top and they all lean over. And then then you can see what I've done in here, which is a bit stupid. I mean, again, it's a bit messy. You can see in here. Can I get the light on it so you can see? No. Yeah, something like that. You can see how there's all these streaks in here. That's that thing in the building videos when I talk about when you paint them. Bits that have glue on look a different colour to bits that don't have glue on them. So these are gluey streaks. So that's why I put glue over all the surfaces to keep it consistent. I mean, listen to that. It's just cardboard. It's solid. It's like wood. Anyway, but what I've done in here is I was having difficulties getting everything up to the right heights. So I've built a little step in here, which is, you know, waste of space, but that's alright. But it does make, you know, all of this is a bit over the top, a bit overbuilt, and I'd make it very differently now, I think. But you know, it works, and it works well. Now, but one of the problems I did have was I had a few of these things which are, I don't know, the scorecards, and I think these things are from the Farmers are in the Moor expansion. And I couldn't find a way to store them, even though I should have stored them underneath that step or whatever. Again, not really thinking very much, but I went for the thing of just using the finger space in there, and I just put them there, and it's not a good solution, because when I take these out they will fall everywhere. But that's just what I did. That's just what I did. So anyway, so that all goes in there. Now I think, right, you know, what I've done as well with all these early boxes, and what I have done up to this day, and I've just realised, it took me a long time to realise it, you know, because originally I measure, you know, I'd measure everything at a height where it's squashed, if you understand what I mean, rather than how it rests. Because if this is resting, all this stuff is resting proud of the top of this box, but when it's squashed, it pushes down to the top of the box. Now, I am going to now do it from its rest position, because originally I thought with it squashed, that's how you keep everything flat and everything in place. So when you have your box, one of the whole points of making the boxes is that, you know, you can do all that and you can travel with them, and all the pieces stay exactly there, and it's always the same when you take the lid off, nothing moves. But the problem is over time the lids get loose, and so I don't know if you can see, so that push thing pushes the lid back up. So from now I'm going to measure the things when they're at rest, if you understand what I mean. A short one, that's what I want to try and make, short one, but then the long ones go over loads of stuff, and you know, I'm just going over the same stuff, so they're naturally going to get shorter. So there you go, that was my Agricola box, a lovely box, a lovely box. Apart from that lettering, I don't like that lettering. I really like the Agricola box. I think it looks great, and I think these bits here with these dudes on it, it's great. I really like the Lookout Game art. It's a bit, you know, it is how it is. Not everyone likes it. I really like it. I find it fun. That's it. Goodbye until next time. I will see you next time, because I know there's a couple of you that are watching these.